Time is 12:35, and I'm calling the Business Committee meeting to order. President, Mr. Gilpin, Mr. Molina, myself, Mr. Veliz. Tuesday, February 11th, 2020, and we are at Student Activity Complex, Fine Arts Building, Room 1. Any public comments? No public comments. Move on to action items. Number 1, approval of monthly disbursements.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Mr. Veliz, Mr. Gilpin, Mr. Molina. The Division of Finance sent you over for your review the disbursements that we did for the month of January. I don't know if you have any questions at this point.
No questions.
Okay.
Item 2, approval of budget amendments.
Yes, sir. We're presenting 2 budget amendments. One is actually for food services. They received a grant of $33,000 that allowed them to get 2 conventional ovens and a refrigerator for Gutierrez Elementary and 2 conventional ovens for Cuellar Elementary. The second budget amendment is a budget amendment where we're wrapping up the PPFCO financing that we did 2 years ago. We have a little bit of interest that we want to recognize, and we want to move some excess monies that we had in another line item, all of it into instructional expenditures to get ready for most probably Herrera, so that we can start buying supplies and materials and maybe even some library books.
All right, sir. Thank you. Item 3, approval to adopt resolution regarding review investment policy and strategies.
Yes, sir, Mr. Veliz. The Public Funds Investment Act requires us to present our strategies, our policies, the training places that we're allowed to go get training for investment hours, and we have to do this annually. We're not making any changes to our policies, our strategies, or the investment sites that we're allowed to go to get our training. However, we're making one change on the actual brokers that we're going to deal with. Every time we go out for bids to either invest in CDs or money markets or any kind of investment security, Bank of America has failed to respond to us over the last couple of years, so we just feel it's best to remove them from the listing. So that's the only change that we have for those items. We are going to introduce, we have Mr. Zuniga, who's an investment officer, Laida Benavides, myself, Rosa Cabello, and we're going to add Felipe Jimenez. We've upgraded that department from handling just student activities and cash to treasury management. Mr. Santos, Mr. Zuniga, and Laida have supported the decision, and he will be handling most of our investments. Obviously, all of us together as a group will discuss items before we actually purchase an investment, but now we kind of have officially a department that handles all the cash within the district. That's the only change to the investment officers.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 4, approval to property tax refunds for the month of January 2020.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Molina, Mr. Veliz, Mr. Gilpin, members of the audience. We bring to you the approval of the property tax refunds for the month of January 2020. We have a couple of refunds for one for Corsair Royalty Ltd. This is an erroneous payment for $2,279.22. We also have 2 refunds for Phillips Mineral Holding totaling $3,025.64. These are overpayments. We also have one for BP Newman Investments for $3,042.18, an overpayment, and one for CoreLogic for $1,053.03, an erroneous payment. Do you have any questions?
No questions.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item 5, approval of awarding bids, proposals, and qualifications.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ellis, Mr. Molina, and Mr. Gilpin. We have RFP 041-2019, which is E-rate Year 23 network equipment for various schools. The recommended vendor for Section 1, which is network, core, and wireless, is to Solid IT Networks in the amount of $3,806,558.17. For Section 2, which is the firewalls, also to Solid IT Networks in the amount of $203,151.39. And we also have 3 renewals for your consideration.
Is Solid IT Network the same vendor we've used recently?
It's a new vendor.
New vendor. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 6, approve additional appraisal. I think we already discussed.
We did that one already, sir.
And we'll move on to item 7, first and final reading of policy DHE, local employee standards of conduct, searches, and alcohol drug testing.
Yes, good afternoon, once again. On page 5 of 7, you will see the noted change that is being requested for your approval. And basically, the reason, the rationale behind it is that the items contradicted each other. There was, if you have a test result that meet or exceed the standard established for DOT testing, DOT standards shall not be limited to cases involving accidents or, so what we did is we deleted that has a test result showing the presence of any amount of alcohol in his or her system. So that contradicted what we had, because if you had any tracer amount, but over here you're saying you still have your license, you can still keep your CDL or so forth, it contradicted one another, so we're recommending to delete and strike that from the policy.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Item 8, approve request from board members in reference to use of Board of Trustees discretionary funds for various projects, campuses.
There are no additional requests other than ones included in your packet.
Already in, okay, all right. Section B, informational items, the monthly financial report, Finance Division.
Good afternoon, Mr. Veliz, Mr. Gilpin, Mr. Molina, and members of the audience, Mr. Santos and Sonia. We're bringing to you our superintendent's monthly financial report, and there you'll see at the end of January, we had a cash investment balance of over $306 million. 56% of this is in our general fund, $171.4 million. We still have some money, like Sam presented the budget amendment. We still have some funds left from our PPFCO 2018 series of $521,000. We still have, if you add up all the bond monies, we have over 90.4 million. The construction program continues to go. And then we added a student activity line item. Believe it or not, our campuses are very active in their fundraising, and at this point in time, in total, they have 3.5 million, but they have staff out there that keeps an eye on these, you know, they do their own bank recs, and we have staff that goes and reviews their record keeping.
Right.
Our portfolio yield is 1.79%, and our pool rate, where we have a lot of our funds, is at 1.72. Our administrative cost ratio, we're at 8.26%. It's allowed by TA. The TA amount is 11%. Our unaudited statements, we're at revenues to date of $273.4 million, or 67% of our revenue, and our expenditures are $198.3 million, or 46.75% of our expenditures. Our tax office report shows that we have a current collection rate of 83.97%, or $190,535,000. And our delinquent collection rate is 49.4%, or $2.7 million, and you can see the comparisons to last year. The purchasing report includes all the bids and proposals awarded through January 31st, and our grants report section is all the activity that's happened this month in our grants department. And just want to point out that in our tax office that, you know, our taxpayers continue to pay their taxes, with a pretty decent collection rate. So we commend our taxpayers in supporting our schools.
Definitely. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Item 2, 2020-2021 budget update.
Just to bring the board up to speed, we're right in the process of using Mr. Garza's projected enrollment for next year, and we already had elementary staffing meetings. We'll go back to the table now that the plan for pre-K has been presented. We'll meet with those campuses as far as any teacher needs. Tomorrow we meet with middle school. And then I think later on this month, we'll meet with high school. And what we do is we give them their projection. Mike's staff is there discussing their classroom needs, their portable needs. And of course, CNI is there to see what instructional programs need to be supported in their campuses. So that's where we are in the process of our budget.
Item 3, 2019 delinquent personal property turned over to attorney to process tax warrants and seizures.
Yes. As per the attorney contract this February 2020, we turned over our 2019 delinquent personal property to our delinquent tax attorneys of Alarcón and Sines. As you can see, we have the delinquent personal property furniture and fixtures totaling at $1,719, 708, 1,719, God, 7,848. We have also the late rendition, $83,554. Also, our delinquent minor personal property is $294,123.38. For a total 2019 personal property, it's $2,097,386.57. Our total number of accounts is 2,480. I have Mr. Guillermo Alarcón and Paul Sines from the firm of Alarcón and Sines here present if you have any questions.
That total amount obviously includes valuation of land, buildings,
This is
everything.
just personal property.
Personal property,
Just
okay.
as of, as the code says, as of February 1st, that personal property becomes delinquent and it gets turned over for collections to the delinquent attorneys.
Sure.
Now in July, we'll turn in everything
Everything.
else in July.
As soon as it gets turned over, I know maybe a question for the law firm, how soon do the notices go out? Is it pretty soon that you guys sent out notice that it's already in your hands to
Tax warrants.
the tax warrants? This month already, okay, so they're already out there, okay.
And what we're gonna do, we're doing right now, we're in the process of sending everybody that became delinquent a notice. Everybody.
Everybody across the board.
Land, personal property accounts, everybody will get a notice this week from
Okay.
us. Okay,
All right. Thank you.
thank you.
Then item 4, proposed boundary change, we already went over that, so
Yes, sir.
12:47, we'll move to adjournment. Thank you very much.
Thank you.